Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. 7:30 on Monday night. This is the Tilton Talk Show coming to you live from around the country in several different parts. And it is, I think, the last but one show that we're going to do this year. If I'm right, am I right, Chris?
Yes.
Last but one?
Yes, new one next week.
Yeah, we'll do one next week. No win for the Blues this weekend. A good 5-goal drubbing, to be perfectly honest, but there you go. We are a championship side next year. That's all that matters. That's absolutely it. And we've now got time to rebuild and to start all over again. So the Tilton Talk Show is, of course, sponsored by Boyle Sports, principal sponsor of Birmingham City Football Club, and in conjunction with Accessory Blues, the Blues Trust, our good friends at Bawdsey Labour Club, SAS Autos, and the Garrison Coffee Company. And we mustn't forget Image Cleaning.
Thank you.
Image. All the best, Chris. All the best. I'll plug your business anytime, mate. Okay, so we at the start of the show, we do know that Lee Bowyer wasn't at the game on Saturday with family issues. We know what those family issues are, but we're not going to go into details because it's not our job. We just want to wish him, his wife, and the family all the very best from everybody here at the Tilton Talk Show. I'm sure every listener, every watcher, and every Birmingham City fan around the world. So there you go. There you go. Okay, so Paul, your quick analysis on the game.
Yeah, we were doing. I mean,
I better introduce you first, hadn't I?
Yes,
Sorry,
please.
mate.
Yeah, come on.
Paul Hipkiss, and we got Mr. Rowe.
Hey, hello everyone.
And we got Mrs. Browne.
Good evening.
Got Steve Jobs.
Good evening, everybody.
I think I got called that once or twice, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And special guest tonight, ladies and gentlemen, an absolute legend of the club, the one and only Mr. Tony Coton.
Woo, 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 woo.
good evening, everyone.
Who are ya? Who are ya?
Okay, yeah. So sorry, Paul. Quick analysis on the game.
Yeah, so it's almost like an extended pre-season, isn't it? He's giving the lads a chance that he hasn't had a chance to look at properly yet, and you know, once we were safe, then to me that's not an issue. But they were doing all right, to be fair. We got back to 2-2, and we just had a bit of a late collapse, unfortunately. But no, I think it's all good experience for the young lads to come into the team and experience first team football. And you know, we all know that come the start of next season, you know, the team that starts the next league game will be nothing like the one that started the last. But
absolutely,
at the same time, you know, it's all good. It's all good experience for them. So yeah, onwards and upwards.
How about you, Steve?
Yeah, it was an experimental side, obviously, and Lee said it was going to be. So, I mean, you never like to lose a game of football, obviously, but we know what he was trying to do. And hopefully it's given him a little bit of a few pointers for the start of next season, you know, who's coming into the squad.
Okay, cheers. Paul, not Paul, Mark?
Pretty much what the other lads have said. I think it does confirm that some just aren't good enough. I know it sounds pretty blunt, but yeah, I think there's a few in there who would be looking to move on.
Would you say I'm good enough or could possibly be worked on?
I think a bit of both, Nick. I think there's a couple in there who just aren't. They've had chance after chance at this level and just haven't cut it. Not naming names, but
No.
You know. But yeah, no. I think I think it's like a pre-season. You know, it was like a pre-season game, and yeah,
We're nothing to play for, Mark.
Nothing to play for.
We may as well
like
use 90 minutes as an experiment.
Yeah, it's like a friendly.
Yeah,
that's, you know, and like I say, Lee will get all the reports back and so on, and make his own mind up about who he wants to get rid of and who he wants to keep. But
thank you very much. Thank you very much. And Tony, did you get to watch the game?
I was there.
You was there.
I was the lucky one.
How did you manage that?
Or the unlucky one.
Yeah, the unlucky one.
Yeah, I mean it's more luck than what's it these days because of the COVID regulations. Being in the recruitment sort of line, that's my job. I applied for a ticket. And I was lucky enough to get one, or unlucky enough to get one, should I say?
Come on, it was only a practice match. Anyway, you're on a Birmingham City show. Welcome to the show, Tony, ex-Birmingham City goalkeeper. And right above your head is a Spurs shirt.
That is Pat Jennings, my...
right. I met him once. He got hands like spades, mate. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, great big hands, yeah.
Great keeper.
So that was my hero growing up. And I've been fortunate in my career to meet lots of different celebrities, sporting heroes, this, that and the other. And I have only collected 2 autographs. One's on the wall behind me and the other one is when I was at Blues. We played Liverpool, and if you remember it, lads, Muhammad Ali walked around, was in a mini
1984
around the pitch, and I got his.
Wow.
So they're the only two that I've collected of all the people.
He must have asked for yours as well, Tony.
Of course.
He must have been intimidated.
See, Tony,
Listen, Muhammad Ali just made a beeline, to be honest, for Big Blakey. And we just crowded round Blakey and just listened to the conversation, to be fair, what they were talking about, really.
I'm a lad of the 60s, Tony, and when we were told to go to bed, we had to go to bed. There was 3 times I could stay up. 1, if Muhammad Ali was fighting. Number 2, if the space Apollo missions were going off. And number 3, if Elvis Presley was singing live. Right? I saw Muhammad Ali at the Liverpool game. I've watched the space shuttle take off. And I've also opened Elvis Presley's front door. So all the 3 things that I was allowed to do as a child, I've gone back and done in real life as an adult.
Yeah, brilliant.
If nobody interested, I really don't care. But, I just give you that little bit of insight into my life.
Well, I will sleep a lot better tonight knowing that. Thank you very, very much.
I appreciate the feedback, mate, honestly. So, Tony, what are you doing with life nowadays then? Where do you live?
I'm up in the northwest. And I'm back at Man United now on the recruitment side.
Okay, cool.
Sorry?
Cool.
Yeah, just the goalkeepers. I just look after all the goalkeepers at the club.
Nice one.
So ins, outs, loans, whatever, we try and facilitate, and then just looking for the next big stars in the goalkeeping world.
What was it like? What was it like being in goal at the full end of the Tilton when it was rocking?
It was magnificent. I mean, certain games spring to mind. You've told me not to mention that team, so I won't mention that team.
You can mention it. It just cost you a tenner. That's all.
That's all right. I ain't got a tenner.
You can just say B6. Just say B6.
Yeah, B6 is.
Was fortunate to get on a couple of winning teams against them. The first time was special, and literally turning round and seeing mates from school was so special, and from the estate that I was brought up in Tamworth was just something else, So
superb.
Tone, what are your recollections of the 1983 derby at Villa Park? The one where they beat us. That's a fiver, Chris, I think.
Yes.
B6 Park, I should say.
Yeah, we'll have that.
The old Blake sending off at the end.
Yeah, but didn't you have the ball in your hands when Peter with?
What it actually did, I think it was Pat Van passed it back.
That's right. Yeah, it was.
We'd had a real downpour.
Yeah. It was really wet, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah,
and there was rumours that it was going to be off, but then everybody had got to the ground, and I think they just thought that for safety issues and all that, it'd be better playing it. But when you've seen some of the tackles that went in that day, then
it should have ended 5-a-side, shouldn't it? Really?
Yeah, I don't think health and safety came into it. But no, it actually, as he played the ball back, as I bent down, it literally stopped.
Yeah.
And he's just managed to poke it, and that was it. And then Blakey missed the penalty, didn't he? And
he had one that was over the line, pretty much. If VAR had been there, I reckon that would have probably been given, because he looked well over the line.
Steve, we didn't even have a mobile phone then, mate.
Exactly. I hadn't invented it then, the Apple iPhone.
Yeah, so, and there was lots of events happened after the game, but we won't go into that. But
right, okay.
All the myths and the stories that I think went round Birmingham and the up the Coventry Road and wherever were true.
we won't mention Mr. Gary Newbon, who sort of got Blakey into trouble, I think, didn't he, afterwards, with video evidence after the game.
Okay.
Yeah, come on, mention him, because I want to know what happened now.
Yeah, go on. I don't know the story.
Well, let's just say that Blakey, at the end of the game, decided to...
And the views of Steve Job and Steve Job only. For any legal implications in this, down to it.
Let's just say that Blakey dropped the Glasgow kiss on Steve McMahon, shall we say?
Right,
all right.
The Glasgow kiss.
Yeah.
There's been a murder.
Yeah, didn't Newborn go on a one-man crusade to get him done for it?
He used the video evidence, Mark, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, he was then.
Anyway, wasn't
he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I right in saying you saved a penalty on your debut for us as well, Tony?
Yes, you are.
I was there, Tony. Yeah, I was an 8-year-old lad, I think, or a 10-year-old lad. So.
50 after 54 seconds.
I think Big Joe Gallagher handballed it, didn't he?
You have done your own work, or you've got a blooming good memory. I tell you.
Wikipedia, Tone.
Oh, was it? Yeah, and in their wisdom, my daughters one Christmas bought me a number plate with TC 54 pen.
Oh, nice.
Excellent.
Tony,
is that the fastest ever debut save of a penalty in the world? You know,
I think full debut, obviously, but I think somebody has come on as a sub. Their keeper's got sent off.
No, I don't care. We'll take that record, mate. We'll hold on to that.
So yeah, I think it still stands.
Superb.
Brilliant.
That must be a wow, what a moment, what a thought, what a memory.
I didn't even have time to think about it because the way my debut came around was Jeff Whelans was fit up until 25 past 2. He was fit, and then all of a sudden, apparently, his knee flared up. I was stood in the corridor by the changing rooms, and Jim Smith come out of the treatment room and told me in unknown certain terms to get ready and this, that, and the other. And before I knew it, I was out on the at St Andrews, and
wow,
it happened that quick. And then all of a sudden, I'm facing a blooming penalty.
I think you went to your right, didn't you, Tone? You go to your right.
How do you remember that? I do remember that.
What gloves and boots was I wearing?
I've taken over the mantle from Paul, who knows everything. You know, Paul knows.
Tell me this then. What state was me jockstrap in by that
time? Nick, can we say jockstrap? Can't remember.
I think so. It's only an item of clothing.
Before the watershed.
Oh, yes, okay.
Oh, gosh, Tony, this is going to be a funny one tonight.
What a debut, though, you know.
It went downhill from there. I peaked too early.
So what year was your first game, Tony?
80.
1980.
December the 27th, 1980.
Oh, 2 days after my birthday. I'm not that I've ever told anybody that before.
Oh, well, I'll remember that now.
Thank you very much, being Jesus.
No problem. I'll send you a card.
Yeah, Craig's asking Tony. Can you ask Tony whether he had any say in Foster's move to Birmingham, and also whether Butland was close to a Man United move?
I'll answer the second one first. No, he wasn't.
Okay.
Jack Butland was never discussed. Ben Foster was. I had a hand in. I think Ben's gone on record really of saying that I've had a hand in his moves in his career.
Yeah.
First and foremost, obviously, Watford was one of my former clubs, and they were looking for a keeper. The thing that we said when we signed Ben, because Sir Alex Darren, his son, was at Wrexham at the time, and he'd mentioned it to his dad, who told me. So I went down and watched him a couple of times. Came back and I said, "Look, we've got a goalkeeper there. I don't think he's going to be too dear. He needs polishing up in certain areas, and he needs to go back out and play straight away." So before we'd even signed him, we'd set it up with Watford that he went out there, and then the next thing was, helping the club that I love, the Blues.
Good man.
Sending him a top keeper, which I think he come and played for you, wasn't he?
Tony, over the years, we've had some of the best keepers that you could ever wish for. Yeah. We really, really
have. Yeah.
They've been absolute quality.
Absolute fantastic, yeah. Absolutely brilliant. Got a happy birthday wish for you, Tony, for next week.
Oh, thank you very much.
There you go.
How old are you next week, Tony?
Oh, it's a big one. It's a big one, I know.
It's a big one, yeah. 6-0 next week.
6-0.
Yeah.
Happy birthday for next week, mate. Paul Devlin's coming in. Yeah. Live comment from Paul Devlin, my favourite Blues keeper ever, and a top bloke.
Oh, I tell you this story about Dev.
Go on then. I hope it's dirty.
Please.
So we both played at Blues, both Blues fans, to heart. I attended the Watford Player of the Year. I can't remember what year it was. I'm sorry. But I attended to present a trophy down there I can't even remember who I presented it to. Anyway, I got put on the same table as Dev, and Dev had been out all afternoon. So
Nothing new.
Just let me say that the entertainment that Dev provided was second to none.
I bet.
I would have paid a fortune to watch it. And all he kept saying to me, as the night got on, further and further on, deeper into the night, and the more drink he had, all he kept saying to me, see, you're my favourite keeper ever. And you know what I remember most about you? And I'm thinking, penalty save or this game. He went, the Ansel's clock. That's what I kept saying, the Ansel's clock. When you played when the Ansel's clock was in the corner of the scoreboard. I remember.
I bet he's cringing now.
You know what? I reckon that's in someone's back garden now. What do you reckon?
Oh, yeah. Wouldn't that be great?
Probably Dev's.
I'd have it on my wall in here.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You know, people have got crush bars, the old blue crush bars from the Cop,
I got a grill from right down the front, where the rain and that run off.
Oh, well.
Well, I've got a great big piece of something, and I don't know what it was. And the lad was walking down the street, and he got the grill, and he says, "Oh, Mister, would you swap this for that?" And I said, "Yeah, definitely."
It was a George Foreman grill.
But I'll tell you what, another 20 minutes, and they would have needed to demolish that stand, would they? Because it would have just took it away.
Oh, yeah, it was wrecked with me. Yeah.
Also,
That used to be the posh seats,
Tony, as an England fan as well, obviously, with an England shirt on, do you think Dean Henderson's got a good chance of starting in goal for England in the Euros this summer?
I'd like to think so. I don't know. I think since sort of Gareth's been in charge, he seems to favour Pickford, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That's his third one. I don't know. I would imagine the three are going to be Pickford, Henderson and Pope. What order? I really don't know.
I actually think Sam Johnston is a good keeper. So
he's had a good season, hasn't he?
Yeah. So
he had a good upbringing, didn't he? I don't know who his coach was from the age of from the age of 11 to 16 was.
Question from Tony, do you put your faith in Gareth Southgate as England's manager?
Do I? Who would you like to see the manager if not? Because I think you've asked that question with a little bit of you're not too happy with that, are you?
No, he missed that penalty, didn't he?
Yeah. But tell me who would you like as England manager?
Probably a good friend of mine, Razor Ruddock.
Oh, right, yeah. Good social.
Imagine being the water bottles.
I just hope he doesn't play. Having watched England, even against San Marino, I just hope he doesn't play with the handbrake on too much. Two defensive midfielders against San Marino. You'd like to think he's going to. As much as it's all about opinions. You had the had the Scholes, Gerrard, Lampard situation years ago. This, now can you fit in Foden? Can you fit in Jack Grealish? Can you? It's all that. I mean, I'm talking as an England fan now, not somebody, just because they're playing claret and blue. But in terms of can you? We have got some attacking flair footballers. It's about them because every other country uses them. Yeah, just let them go and play, let them express themselves, and take the game to the opposition. Yeah, I mean, I think Jude's got a good chance. I think Jude will be in the squad. I think he's even got a good shot at getting in the team. On current form.
Yeah, definitely.
It'll just wait and see, innit?
Yeah. It's certainly exciting though, isn't it? With the players we've got, it's certainly the best squad we've had for a long time. Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll be back in the pubs and having a merry old pints inside.
Yep.
Well, you can from the 17th.
Yep.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, there's the question.
countdown with the minutes on the clock here in front of me.
I was just going to say, lads, the question mark with England is defensively, isn't it? Really, against your Belgiums and your top sides. That's where he will try and probably play his two holding midfield players. But I agree with I agree with Paul though against the lesser sides.
Yeah, that's a tactical thing. That's what a manager has to do, doesn't he? He has to figure out what opposition, what strengths and weaknesses they have to counterbalance and put his side out to win that game.
Tony, I promise, if he brings that trophy back home, I forgive him for that penalty miss. I will. It'll be over. It'll be an era that I will be prepared to forget if he comes down with a trophy on the front of that coach.
And the thing is, we got to a semi-final of the World Cup, which suggests that
within a whisker, weren't we? Winning it, I think.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't get. It's a little bit unjust, the criticism sometimes, because we can't be doing that much wrong, can we, to get to the last four of the World Cup?
No, we're not.
I mean, I know we had the draw.
I'm a little bit tongue-in-cheek in what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I am a little bit tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah.
Of course, I want England to do well, and I'd love him. I'd love him to bring that trophy back, right? And then all can be forgiven and forgotten, and I can move on with my life.
Yeah, I think with me that game when he missed the penalty, it always haunts me. Gascoigne sliding in and missing the ball by about that much.
I'll never know how he didn't get on the end.
I've been to week before, Paul, in a metro, right, in a mini metro. Left it at Calais, got the hovercraft over because we had hovercrafts back then.
Really?
Yeah, into Calais. There was me and my ex-wife's brother. And we bought, I have never seen so many boxes of beer. And we were like lifting two of them up the street 10 yards, coming back for another two, And it took us about an hour to get back to the port round the corner. And we got them home and we put them all in the back of my metro. And I ain't joking, the wheels were nearly off the road on the way back home. And we stacked them up in the house. And it went up to the ceiling twice in them little bottles of beer, yeah? Now, all I remember, when he missed that penalty, my ex-missus was at work that night. And she came home, and I'm up against a lamppost outside, crying my eyes out. She went in, got all the street in, everybody was in our house, mate. And she removed 9 bin bags of bottles.
Wow. Poor wench.
9
bin bags of bottles.
Tony, let's take it. Sorry, Nick. Yeah, so Tony, if we can take it right back to the beginning, then were you sort of spotted as a in like an academy, or did you come through? Was it school?
It was completely different in them days, Paul. It was you signed schoolboy forms at 14 to 16. Yeah. No academies or anything like there is today.
Who would you sign for?
Sorry?
Who had you signed for at 14?
No one.
Nobody, right?
No. I was training at Wolves.
Another bad word.
And then so a schoolboy then were doing in them 2 years trying to earn an apprenticeship, which then was 16 to 18 and to get a pro. That's how it worked. Those and then obviously the more talented ones signed a pro earlier. This that and the other. So I was at Wolves. They released me. I started playing non-league. I'd already been playing men's football on a Sunday morning, men's pub football, since I was 14.
Yeah.
So I'd had the upbringing of sort of being able to look after myself in the right way that way. And then I went to Villa.
Hey, £10.
Who'd you go to, Tone?
Yes, you're not getting me again.
You're unwashed.
What's the charity, by the way?
PTSD.
PTSD, yeah.
PTSD,
yeah.
So I went there, and then they wanted to sign me on a non-contract basis and play in their youth cup team and this, that, and the other. And then you've obviously not read my book, so that should be a fine for all of you.
It should be, yeah.
Because in my book, I tell you exactly what happens. I go back to the digs.
I'll tell you what, there's no fine. Just send us a signed copy.
Okay, no problem.
Right.
Where was you when I did the signing in the club shop?
you.
Oh, that's
I think
back at you now.
back at us, that is, yeah.
The
yeah.
queue was
I was at Jeff Whelan.
the queue was that big outside, Tony. I missed the kick off.
Yeah, same as me.
That was
Same
the
as
chip
me.
shop. That was the chip shop. You were in the wrong queue. Anyway, I had a bit of a dust up in the digs. I rang my dad and I said, come and get me. He gave me an enormous telling off as he drove me back to Tamworth. You've thrown your chance away, this, that and the other. I then started playing for Milo Rovers in the Midland combination. And then next minute, the manager, Roger Powis, just said to me, Birmingham want to have a look at you, a week's trial. I went down, trained with the youth team, played in a game at Northampton that we won 2-0. Then they said, we'll keep you on for another month. I did okay in that month, trained with the first team a few times, played another game. And then they said, right, we'll sign you till the end of the season. That was Jim Smith. And then I had another season playing for the youth team, couple of reserve games. And then there was a lad I was in digs in Sheldon with a lad called Terry Good, who was a little striker. I think he played one first team game for us. And then we got called in. Jim Smith called us in and said, look, we don't think you're going to make it. We're releasing you. So absolutely distraught, because here's my dream of playing for Birmingham City, a team that I supported, this, that and the other, and it was all gone. I went home, told my mum and dad. My dad said, right, pick yourself up, and let's see what's around the corner. I then got a phone call saying that the youth team were going to Germany and playing in 2 tournaments, one in Mannheim and one in Dortmund. Did I want to go? I didn't really, but I hadn't been abroad. So I thought, right, okay, I'll go. I rang Terry at home and I said, have you had the phone call? He went, yeah. He said, what should we do? Should we just go and mess about? And I went, well, let's just go and see. Our entire messing about really was probably throwing a couple of water balloons out the hotel at passers by, and that's as far as it went. And then we knuckled down. We played the first tournament in Dortmund, we got to the final. We got beat by Coventry in the final. Mark Dennis was in our team. Pat van der Nauw was in our team. Ian Andysides. And then we went on to Mannheim, and Mark Dennis and Pat van der Nauw left us there. They didn't come on to the second part because they'd already been in our first team. And we won that tournament. We beat Steaua Bucharest in the final. Terry got top goal scorer and I got goalkeeper of the tournament.
Superb.
I was at home 2 weeks later, and I remember I was cleaning my dad's car outside, and my mum opened the front door and she went, Birmingham City on the phone. I went in, Jim Smith, heard you've had a great tournament. I think we might have been a bit hasty. Come in on Monday. He said, we'll give you...
What an absolute gentleman to do that, though.
Oh, yes.
An absolute... You know what I mean? Because he could have just bit his tongue and said, I've made my decision. Tony, just one thing. To your right-hand side, there's a lot of sunlight.
Yeah, it's coming through. I was just about to mention
shut your curtains or something, mate.
Yeah. Oh, that's better. Yeah. That's a bit... That's great.
Hey, he's got a complexion now.
There you go. So he's not that ugly.
So that's what happened. I signed, and then Jim. I made my debut, and then the end of that season, I think it was. I can't remember exactly, but Jim got the bullet. Ron Saunders come in, and it was like, well, my career took off under Ron.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it must have been amazing when you think your dream's over for it to suddenly, all happen so fast and it's back on again.
I'm not big enough and proud enough to say I didn't shed a tear. I did.
Oh, I cry every game, mate.
And all I kept looking at, the first thing I did when I signed for, I remember it as clear as anything, because I used to travel in with Steve Fox and Mick Rathbone.
I remember Steve Fox. Did he have curly hair, Steve Fox?
Yeah, he's a winger.
Yeah.
Paul? He's passed away now, unfortunately.
I've remembered something.
He's not been drinking. He's not been drinking, that's what it is. Oh, he is.
Excuse me.
Oh, yeah.
It's only Coke.
Yeah.
What's in the Coke? That's the problem.
We've got a few questions coming, Tony. One from Ray says, questions for TC. If you hadn't stayed in football in your playing career, what job would you have pursued? He means after your playing career.
After?
Yeah, what would you have?
What would I have, what would I have done? I don't know. I couldn't have done anything, Andy, because I'm useless.
Yeah.
So I have to get people in to do anything. What would I have done if I had stayed? To be honest, I never even thought of that because it was all I ever knew.
Yeah, and all you ever wanted to do.
Yeah, and I was crap academically at school. All I wanted to do was get out and play sport. That's all I wanted.
You are not alone.
No, you're not alone. No. Another one from Mick.
So in answer to Ray's question, I don't really know. I'd have found something, but I'm trying to think what I would have been good at. It's not a lot. I don't know really.
Yeah.
I've never been asked that question.
Right.
So I've never even thought about that, to be honest.
Question from
me then, Tony. Whose boots did you clean?
Whose boots did I clean? Normally it was goalkeepers looked after goalkeepers.
Okay, right.
Okay.
So that's how they used to do it. So I remember going in, and it was Jeff Whelans and Neil Freeman were the two, and Neil Freeman's used to take me twice as long to clean one of Neil Freeman's boots. For about 14. That was the two that I remember.
And then who cleaned your boots?
David Coles used to clean my boots.
Oh, right. Okay, I never heard of
David Coles. Was another keeper. And Colesy is a goalkeeping coach now. He's had a good goalkeeping coaching career. He's worked at England and various clubs. He's a good friend of mine, Colesy. So Colesy used to do my boots.
And of course, nowadays, they don't clean them, do they?
No, they don't.
Wipe them with a wet cloth now, haven't they?
Yeah.
There's no dubbing or polish that we used to do.
And everything's done for him, isn't it?
Dubbing for donkey's years, mate. Dubbing for donkey's years.
There's no cleaning the showers, sweeping up, doing all that.
Yeah, that's right. So,
Mark Holland on YouTube says, did you ever consider running a pub or buying a sports shop?
No, I invested in a pub in Tamworth with my mates, which was the worst thing I ever did. Because knowing my mates as I do, I should have known that the profits would have just rank, and having lock-ins and all that. So I tried that one. What was it? What was the second? What did he say? A sports shop. No, not really. I don't know. I've always fancied, to be fair, being a caddy for a pro golfer. That's what I've always fancied. Because I play golf to a average level, but I used to live in Dubai. I got a job out in Dubai later in my career, and there was a couple of pro golfers lived in the complex where I was at, so I got access to the tournaments in Dubai, and I used to sit with the caddies and listen to the different stories of the different players that they'd caddied for, and how mentally one was different to another one, just like footballers really. I watched the golf last night, and I was watching Rory and this, that, and the other. I was just listening to what the caddies say to them, because the mic's that close to them now. You can hear the information what they're giving out, and I just thought in normal circumstances, what a job that is, traveling the world. Always in the sun, always in the good weather.
Unless, of course, you're playing at St Andrews. Hey!
Yeah, playing in England or down at Celtic Manor.
Up in Stoke.
Yeah, Biddulph.
Biddulph, that's it.
It's really rough.
So that might have been something that I'd have had to go to caddy school for that, though.
Yeah. Question from Mick Greaves. It says, Tony, when you were playing, who was your toughest player to play against? Was it Ian Rush or a Graham Sharp type of player?
When you say toughest, do you mean in toughest physically or toughest in?
Let's go physically.
Physically, without doubt, my best mate, Mick Harford.
Mickey Harford, yeah.
Oh, big.
There's not many best mates ring you up when you're playing against them, telling him he's going to give me sticks in the ring, and actually doing it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was a big lad.
4 stitches in there.
Yeah.
But I didn't expect anything else. So physically, Mick, Billy Whitehurst was another one. Remember Billy Whitehurst, and then I would probably say for a goals ratio or someone that was always there, you only had to spill it an inch and his toe was there, was Ian Rush.
Right.
So quick in the box, yeah. So those two really.
Chris Browne.
Nicholas.
I've only got access to one phone again tonight, mate.
Okay.
There was a message I saw come through from Roy the photographer.
Yeah.
Can you find ask Tony the relevant question, please, buddy?
Okay, if you give me
Thank you very much.
2 seconds, because I have got it, honestly.
If he sends me the
Okay,
photograph,
Tony,
he's promised me.
I have
You made your debut for Blues, right?
Okay.
And that came round so quick because you were like not expecting to play that game.
Yeah.
As a Birmingham City fan, walking out that tunnel with that Ansell's clock to your right-hand side, or did you come out the centre tunnel then?
We come out the centre.
That was a long walk down there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was past the D Club.
One of the longest walks in football, apparently.
I swear on my life now, gospel truth, because my dad wouldn't have known because it happened all so late. My dad used to come into the ground with me. My dad used to go in the D Club, and he was with my brother-in-law that day. As I'm walking up the tunnel, I wanted to run into the D Club and say, "Dad, I'm playing." You know what I mean? Because I know he wouldn't have gone out until he'd had his quota.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? And go out right on kickoff. So I just remember that. And then the first thing that hit me was I'd played there, obviously, with the youth team. I'd played at an empty St Andrews in the football combination. Was how smaller the pitch looked with the crowd in. That was the one thing that hit me.
Right.
God, it looked so narrow and a little bit longer, but so that was the first things that sort of went through my head. One, I wanted to run in the D Club and tell my dad I was playing, and two, when I actually got to the railway end, was looking up and thinking how much smaller the pitch looked.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Now, as a Birmingham City fan, though, right through and through, that moment when you actually cross that white line and the crowd are on your side, obviously. Look, I'd love to.
There's all things that go through, Nick.
Tony, I'd love to flick a burger in one of the stands and serve it to somebody just so I could get a wage slip with Birmingham City crest on it. I'd love it. Anything. I'd do anything, right? But as a professional, right, you're now walking out to the team that you've watched and adored all over those years, and now you're part of it. How did that feel?
Well, it's the best feeling ever. The time once I'd signed for Birmingham.
Goosebump alert.
Sorry?
Goosebump alert.
Dream come true, isn't it?
So once I'd signed for Blues on a regular basis and my trial period was over, I don't know. I can't count how many nights I used to lie there, think, will I ever make my debut for Blues? Will I ever play for the first team out there? And then I used to recount all my mates from school and living near me who were Blues fans. Will they ever get to see me play for the Blues? And literally, when you do go out, those things did happen. I wanted to run in and I wanted to tell my dad, the pitch looked smaller. Then I've saved the penalty after 54 seconds.
Did your dad see that?
Huh?
Did your dad see that penalty save?
Yes. Yeah,
Good.
he was up in time. He told me after that somebody had ran in and said, your son's in the team, and he even left a full pint, I think he said.
Oh, Jesus.
and ran upstairs. And so as a goalkeeper, as the ball's getting moved around the pitch and it's up the top end and you've got a corner for or whatever, there's so many things that can go through your head. The first and foremost is, please don't make a mistake. Please don't let the team down. Don't let these supporters down. Or if I make a mistake, you know, when I go back to Tamworth, there's going to people reminding me of my mistake. They won't remind me of my penalty save that I just made. But I did feel 10 feet tall because I'd saved a penalty with my first touch on my debut for the team that I adored. So I did feel special. This, that, and the other. Never, you know, sort of went too far ahead. All I kept thinking was, don't make a mistake, concentrate, talk, this, that, and the other. And pretty much that's how it panned out. And then I went into the players' lounge after the game. Obviously, the press and all that was new to me. I hadn't seen any of that side of it. Everybody wanted to get a quote. Everybody wanted to sort of get a piece of you. So I said the normal things, you know. I don't think I said I'm over the moon and the old cliches or anything like that. But so I did that. I went in the players' lounge and everybody's sort of looking at you from this kid that stands in the corner most home games, you know, with his dad and his brother-in-law, to now I'm a first team. I played in the first team. Like, they're all looking set like this, that, and the other. My dad comes up to me. He's got a pint in his hand. He said, "Here, son, get that down your neck like that." And I went, Dad, oh, unbelievable. He said, "Oh, no, what a start." I said, No. He went, "Yeah." I said, "Dad, I've had a steak. I had a steak for pre-match meal." I went, "What?" I went, "I've had a fillet steak. I'm on for council estate in Gilway in Tamworth. We'd never had a steak before. Braised beef slices we might have had on a
Yeah, I would call spam.
Yeah. Fish paste.
And I just kept saying, "I've had a fillet steak. I've had a fillet steak." He went, "I'm not bothered about your fillet steak." He went, "What about it?" So, there's him talking about my penalty save, and all I wanted to talk was the fact that I'd had a fillet steak.
Brilliant. So 4 seconds in, there you are. All right, the ball's been spotted. Were you at the main stand end or the tilt end?
Was at the railway end.
Railway end, yeah. Okay, sorry, I'm at the railway. You got all them fans behind you. What's going through your head? 54 seconds into your first game.
Well, there were, honestly, up until really into certainly the mid-90s for me, there was no analysts, nothing that you could look back on.
It was Gary Noob on.
If once I got in the team and teams were coming on match of the day or whatever, I'd put the video in and I'd record it in case there was a penalty or a certain free kick.
Mm-hmm.
And when they were coming, I used to label it and do that. But now, obviously, analysts, they tell you how many, he's hit 15 penalties to that side, he's hit that, this, that, and the other. And I don't know whether that can confuse a keeper at sometimes, especially when a player mixes his penalties up.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It can confuse. Anyway, he puts it down, he runs up, and I'd had a pretty good record with the youth team and reserves and in my junior career with penalties. And I just thought, there's no way he can open up now and put it to my left, just with his run. I thought, you know, and as I say, I went the right way, full stretch, and it just went round the post, luckily enough.
And the crowd went wild.
As they say, yeah.
Tone, can I ask a question? Did you keep anything from your debut? Did you keep your shirt or anything?
No, unfortunately, I'm one of those that look back now and think, Christ, I wish I'd have.
Yeah.
I used to literally give everything away. I could have shown if I'd have been on last week, I could have shown you a memento that I got, which is in the cabinet. But we move house next week, so everything's got.
Oh, right, okay.
I thought you just got no furniture.
Can you send us your address?
Giving your furniture away.
So, yeah. So to be fair, they've bought some of our furniture off.
Oh dear.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I can't show you that, but no, there's very, very little. I had in fact, it might be in the loft in a suitcase. I had a Patrick tracksuit when we were Patrick.
So in these days, wasn't it?
Yeah. Very little from my career. I gave a lot away. I gave it all to charity, to be honest.
Nice. Well, at least it went to a good cause.
Yeah.
Got the question from Roy now.
Right. Not to that. Thank you.
So do you want to do it, Chris?
I've got it here. So did you? It's a did you know question, Tone. Did you know that you are one of only 4 all-time favourite Watford players that Elton John chose in a recent podcast interview? What an honour!
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't even go there, lads.
No, I've got the answer.
Don't go there.
I've got the answer to it, and I guess that's why they call us the Blues.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Hey, I am actually on one of his videos that's been on Top of the Pops.
Okay.
Which one?
Nikita.
Really?
Oh, are you?
Oh yeah.
Fame.
Yes, and we're playing West Brom, and we beat West Brom 5-1 that day. And I actually half volley one of the balls down, and I think Colin West brings it down and scores. But no, I didn't know that, and I want to know, Roy. Please, where can I get it from? Where can I see it?
Yeah.
Because that is that's special.
That's something
And
special.
Does he tell you who the other 3 are? Obviously, Luther will be one of them. John Barnes, possibly 2.
Maybe Robert. What about Robert?
Yeah, Robert, yeah.
So I don't know. Tommy Mooney?
Tommy
No,
Mooney,
no.
Robert.
So,
Right. Okay. You know what we're going to do, Roy? Roy. We're going to put the message out to Roy and ask him to get back to us.
Yeah, if we can have a link. I'd like to listen to that as well. Yeah.
I know Roy. Is Roy watching, or has he just sent?
Oh, he'll be watching. Yeah.
Roy, where's me golf photographs from the Blues golf day?
Don't intimidate him.
He's also asked as well for us to wish all our fans a good summer, and hopefully he'll see us all back at St Andrews soon. He just asked me to say that on his behalf as well.
Yeah, he's a good
Wouldn't that be nice, mate? Wouldn't that be nice?
Good lad. He's a good lad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Enjoyed.
Have you got a video? Is there a video of that 54-second penalty save?
Nothing.
I don't think so, Nick.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Tilton Talk Show, we are now appealing for the video, and we've done this, and it came through once before.
Cafe Pacific.
We are appealing to anybody who may have a video of the 54-second Tony Coton save. Please get in touch, because
Nick, I think I know who might have it. Gary Newbon.
Anybody has got it. I will donate some money to their charity of their choice.
Superb.
Yeah. Fair play. Steve,
So
let's
Nick,
come on to you. Let's come on.
Don't let's down on this now, guys.
No. I was just going to say that, Paul. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go
Steve,
ahead.
let's come on to you, mate. So, how long you obviously growing up supporting the Blues? Can you remember what your first game was, and who's your favourite ever player?
First game was August 78, and it was Middlesbrough at home. Lost 3-1. I think that was a precursor to the misery to follow, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was definitely a welcome.
Yeah, but my dad used to take me. 8 years old I was.
Where did you stand?
I used to go in the posh seats, Nick, which was the main stand. That used to be the posh seats, didn't
Here's
it?
another one.
78. I was at that game.
Were you,
I was
Tony?
at
Yeah.
that game. I was on the cop.
You watching it on the top? Yeah.
Jim Platt was played in goals for Middlesbrough that day.
Jim Platt, yeah.
Yeah.
He played for Ireland, didn't he? I think.
So I was at that game.
But now I
didn't see you.
But I've had a season ticket for years. I think we went from like 78 to 82, then had 2 years off, and I went from 84 all the way up to 2013 non-stop.
Right.
So I'd seen a few managers come and go.
Yeah. And favourite player in all that time?
Frank Worthington, Paul.
Oh, Frankie.
He could just do anything with the football, and he was a scorer of quality goals. You know, some of the goals he scored. Unfortunately, cameras were only at 1 or 2 games each week. Tony will know this, and you know,
scored the winner on my debut. Got my first win bonus in the professional football.
How much was it?
Yeah, that was the
£125.
Oh,
Wow.
that's not too
With
bad.
bonus.
That ain't too
a
bad.
lot of money then, I should think.
I
you
can
know.
imagine it was
That's
a lot
more
of
than
money,
Chris Brown gets in a month.
It is, yeah.
I think I was on 80 quid a week then.
Yeah.
Oh, even that's more than I'm on.
But no, Frank could do. He could do tricks with a football. He could like flip it up. I remember one goal against Southampton. I think it was about 1981. It was sort of about 25 yards out at the railway end, and he literally just flipped it up and he volleyed it left-footed into the corner. Out of nothing, you know. He was capable of doing that.
You've definitely read my book, Steve.
You what, Tone? Sorry.
You've definitely read my book, or the chapter on Frank in it.
Do you know what, Tone? I'm actually 51 in about 3 weeks, so I can ask the missus.
You
to do it
little
me.
Cliff Richard,
So
you don't look it at all.
Don't really? No. 51.
Cheers. Yeah.
Roy's just sent in a message, Tony, just saying, tell TC I'll dig the Elton podcast out and I'll send him the golf pictures as well. So that's from Roy Photography.
Oh,
Cool.
I knew it was worth coming on.
There you go.
That's all we want is this video. Come on, people. Somebody must have this video somewhere in their archives. Please dig it out.
We've asked you to do. We've asked you to do a 1 to 11, Tony, from the players you played with for us. Have you done?
Well, that wasn't the actual message, was it? At 5 o'clock when I got it. By the way, when I was blooming knee deep in work from stuff at work, and then I looked at my phone and it says, "Have you managed to do to your 1 to 11?" And I said, "Well, is it teams that I played with, or is it teams players from past?" So I think the message was, "Go with whatever."
Oh, okay.
Must be interesting.
Apart from now, listen, this is where I'll need your help here, because obviously the greatest goalkeepers that have played for Birmingham, obviously you don't look past Gil Merritt, but I've never ever seen Gil Merritt play as long as same as yourselves.
Yeah.
So if you're talking about Blues goalkeepers that I saw, then I would probably have to go. I don't know how well Dave Seaman did because he followed me when I left, and then Ben Foster. So I can't see past those two really. And then I've gone for a 4-3-3 formation. Yeah, and I've gone for a really rugged, tough back four. So I've gone for Pat van den Auwe at right back.
Ooh.
Okay, who could play anywhere, by the way, and did play anywhere for Blues. Centre half, left back, midfield. Then I've gone, and there's certain people in here that I don't necessarily like, but as players, and I'm not saying which ones they are. So Kenny Burns, centre back, alongside Colin Todd and Mark Dennis. Now, what a back four that is.
Colin Todd was a Rolls Royce, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know whether you want to say anything about those players or you just listen to my team first.
No, well, carry on, Sam.
Well, I was just going to ask you if you played with all that back four. Did you play with every one of them?
No, I'll tell you the story. So I played with Pat Van, and I played with Toddy, and I played with Mark Dennis.
Okay.
I didn't play with Kenny, but I played against Kenny, and he actually kicked me where he shouldn't have kicked me for no reason.
Just no reason.
He brought me down to my knees, and in fact, I did get my own back, but it's in the book.
Right, okay.
I'm trying to sell me book, but I don't want to say on it. It goes on YouTube, I think, doesn't it?
I'll be getting it, so.
I'm going to get it,
yeah. So I do get my own back on him, and it is in the book. So, but if you want to wait, lads, I think in September, the paperback version's coming out.
Oh, right, okay.
With an updated chapter.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so that's you. So who's in net? Sorry, was it who's in goal? Sorry, did you say David Seaman?
Well, I couldn't decide out of Seaman or Foster, to be honest. So I think Foster probably had the better Blues career, did he?
Yeah, I would have said so. Longer.
Yeah. So let's go for Ben.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then we got Pat Van, and obviously I come through the youth team with Pat, so I know Pat, Psycho Pat, Burnsy, Toddy, and Mark Dennis. And then I've got the 3 in midfield. This is where I'll need your help because I've got a blank on one of them. So the 3 are, or the 2 that I've got so far is Archie Gemmell's in there.
Yeah.
And I didn't play with this one, but I thought he was absolutely magnificent for the Blues. Christophe Dugarry.
Yeah.
So I've got him there playing ahead of the 2 in midfield. I'm still searching for that other one in midfield. And then the 3 up front, I've obviously got Mick Hartford as the striker. And either side of him, I've got Trevor and I've got Frank.
Yeah.
Great choice.
Yeah, there's a lot of flair.
We're going to win the league.
A lot of flair players. A lot of flair players there. A lot of flair players.
So your midfielder, is it someone recently or is it someone from
that we're missing?
So again,
that we haven't got.
Yeah.
No, I mean I'm missing it. I was racking my brains and I'm thinking, right, who have I missed?
Okay.
So you got. I mean,
Dev, I didn't see you play, Dev. Sorry, mate. You know you.
He's going now. He's going me.
Dev, sit there. I hope he sat there with his blue shirt on.
He will be. Yeah, he will be.
So
the guy's name Ansel's clock.
Yeah. So come on, give us a recommendation.
I'll have Kevin Dillon. So
Kevin Dillon, Mick Hartford. I spoke to Mick Hartford earlier, and he said Dill.
Mark Ward, Barry Ferguson, Mark Ward.
Oh yeah, I'd go for Wardy.
I played with Wardy at Man City.
Wardy was brilliant. I think Ferguson wins to my mind. Robbie Savage. I mean, we've had some great players, haven't we? Martin O'Connor, Brian. In my time, I can only go by my time, obviously.
Brian Hughes, Brian Hughes, another one.
Yeah.
Lee Bowyer.
I think as we have to put the team up at the end of the show. I think we need to pick one. So I think our guest, our fan guest,
Chris, you've got it wrong. You've got it wrong, mate. We had one sent off as he was coming out the tunnel.
Yeah.
Hang on, we're forgetting about Czech Endoy, aren't we?
Hey.
Am I picking that then? Kevin Dillon.
Kevin Dillon. Okay, then.
Good choice, Tony.
Kevin Dillon, yeah.
Tony.
Yeah.
Kevin Dillon over Teberley.
Tony, going back to Mick Hartford, Big Mick, he was absolutely fantastic in the air, and he could play on the deck as well. He
could.
Yeah.
Big Mick, because he went to Luton, didn't he? And he had to play on the plastic pitch when he went to Luton.
He didn't stop him there.
No.
He still attacked the ball like a man possessed.
But I'd say he's the best header of a ball I've seen at Blues.
And a man mountain. Still.
Bit before my time, but I've said Djukovic is mine in my time. Like
do you know what?
Headed goal.
Yeah, Paul, I'd say Big Mick was even better than Dukey in the air.
Yeah.
Really,
I would say anyway.
I would agree with that. Not because he's the best mate, but because he was.
And who would be your manager be, Tony, please?
Ron Saunders.
Ron Saunders.
And captain?
Let me have a look at that. I'll probably go with Archie Gemmell.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he was going to say that.
I've heard a lot about every one of them players.
Paul, I'll tell you what, the fact that you didn't see little Archie play, mate, I'll tell you what, you really have missed out on something because, them days were proper. They were absolutely, they were just mountains and they would just run through you, every single one of them.
And to be honest, Nick, we were getting Archie at the back end of his career, weren't we?
We didn't
see the best of him when he was at Derby and Forest.
Yeah.
I think Jim signed him when he was 32, didn't he? Or 31, 32.
He was about 2'6.5", wasn't he?
He weren't very small. No, he weren't very small.
By the way, lads,
good left foot.
Mention me book. There's another chapter in there about Archie.
Right, Tony, please plug your book. We all need to know what it's called, where it's available from.
If it's still available. Yeah.
I don't know whether it's still available now. It was on Amazon, sold out, but it's called There to Be Shot At.
Right, okay.
Yeah, my dad's got the book, and my dad's just finished it actually, and he keeps saying, how good it is. So I might have to borrow it off him.
Listen,
oh, you tight git.
struggle-
You tight git. You're not giving this man any money. You tight git.
Go and buy it.
I can't believe it,
Come
mate.
on. Mark, Tony needs to feed his family. Come on, just pay the money.
All right. I'll buy my own.
He lives in
I'm only
Coventry. He lives in Coventry. Come on.
Stop it, please.
He
Before I
lives in
crash.
Coventry.
And who would you say,
they're on
Tony, who would you say was the best player you played with at Blues and in your whole career as well?
With at Blues, just pure entertainment wise, then I'd have to say Frank as well. I'd have to say Frank. Just watching him in training, watching him arrive. We used to get in early, do all our jobs just to so we could watch Frank arrive, see what he was wearing that day, because he was a film star, pop star, soccer star. He had it all rolled into one. He had charisma. He had.
I'm glad you didn't carry.
Huh?
I'm glad you didn't carry that on.
Yeah.
Stars.
Yeah.
You had a few.
Well, he was as well, weren't he? That as well.
Sorry, Tony. Did you have a few nights out with him on the rum runner and places like that?
It's all in the book.
I
You know what he said? He read that page, didn't you?
Yeah,
Did you read that chapter?
my dad sent me that page in the post.
just the one page, you tight git.
That's a true story. Absolute true story. That was. I thought they were crap. He said they're going to go on to be, big world stars, and so they did.
Yeah.
So that's what I knew from music. We're talking about Duran Duran, lads.
Yeah. I remember him, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I've got a question from Joe Donohoe. He says, I remember being in the Lower Whitton at B6 and Blues fans were belting out, bleep on the Villa, bleep on the Villa. And Tony was conducting them. Honest truth. Great show as always, lads, you legends. He's talking about me, obviously. Is that true? Can you remember that?
Where? At Villa Park?
Yeah.
Oh, 20 quid.
That's 100
Filth.
So my charity, by the way, lads, is breast cancer and multiple sclerosis.
Good.
So,
well done.
Anyway, quite possibly behind me back. Was I? One of them behind me back? I don't know. Quite possibly. I don't know.
You're probably just twirling your moustache.
Tony, what did you think of the Blues fans' sense of humour?
Well, I saw it at its best. Obviously not when I was playing, but the playoff final at Cardiff against Norwich. I got a coach up with the lads from Tamworth, and we went down for the weekend and. We took over Cardiff that weekend.
Oh man, yeah.
Can you believe it's 19 years ago on Wednesday?
I know.
Crazy, isn't it?
Blown, isn't it? Yeah.
And I just remember we stayed in the ground, and as most Blues, and I remember we were where the dugouts were, we were up to the left a bit along, but we'd come down, and I just remember Steve Bruce spotting me going and pointing at me.
What's he going, Tony, write a book about it.
3 sheep. Hey, that's a good idea. I might do that.
Oh, Tony, your book is available. It's still available. Your book's available. It's still available.
I'm talking the fans though, Tony.
Listen, if any of you are struggling sleeping, get me book.
We could
make a nice pillow.
On their texts. I think we're the funniest fans out ever, right? If somebody has, I don't know, done something, we're brilliant at taking the rip.
Yeah,
we are.
So I was
had some great songs over
kind of
the
memory
years.
that we've got where we were.
Who starts it though? Who starts it? Have you got like Man United have got a guy called, and he writes all the new songs. He does all the thing. I'm trying to think of his name now. And there's leaflets go round and all this. So there's a section start new songs.
No.
Who was the ones that when the subs coming on and they announcing it.
Hang on.
Who started all that then? Who was the one behind it?
We did.
Yeah.
No,
It wasn't it Dance who got the idea?
Ian Danter. And Wolves fans, yeah. There was some guy that came on. Was it for Crystal Palace? I can't remember. And he came on and he got a really long surname, and everybody just automatically turned to whoever was next to you and said "Ooh," and Dancer must have heard it, and then he read it again, and then we all went "Ooh," and it's stuck ever since.
Yeah, brilliant.
Tony, you remember back in the 70s and up the Cop, there was always somebody with an air horn, wasn't there?
Well, I've had one blasted in my ear.
Oh, it was me. It was mine. I'm sorry.
Was it you?
I used to check them every week.
Yeah, is that you? Well, is that your claim to fame? Is it? Right.
Well, I've blown my air horn in Tony Coton's ear.
But where was you when I got pulled out by the coppers when we played Leeds in what year would it have been?
84, 85.
I got dragged. No, not 84. It was before I was a player.
Oh, right. Okay.
It would have been late. It would have been 78-ish, possibly 77, 78. I don't know, but I got dragged down by a policeman by my hair all the way down the steps. I know that, and I hadn't done anything. They'd got the wrong person.
They were a bit brutal.
I was always innocent in everything I did.
They were a bit brutal back then, though, weren't they?
Yeah.
Mind you, I said that Tony, they had a lot to deal with.
Yeah. Brenda wants to know, where's your hair gone?
Oh, I know, yeah.
Your thick, curly hair.
It's in the bottom of the shower.
Next time you have your hair cut, will you pick the chippings up and we'll send them on to Brenda for you?
No problem, Brenda. Yeah, I had the...
Lovely. Brenda's lovely. Come on, Blues.
I was like D'Artagnan in them days.
Chris, do you want to do...
Mustache.
Sorry, Tony. Chris, do you want to do the ooh?
Yeah. Just before we do that, I mean to say well done to the ladies as well, don't we?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well for doing the job. Yeah, good stuff.
And the under-23s today, 11-1.
11-1.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we're doing 11-1.
Now, hang on. Right, here's the deal. We said if Birmingham City scores 6, you've got to do a programme in the nude.
Oh, yeah.
Is that not right?
Oh, what a shame.
No, hang on. We didn't mention the fact that it was the first team. Have a look back on that audio.
I have.
Today,
it is the first team.
Birmingham City.
We did say first team.
I want you to find that audio and I want you to pay it to them. And don't make it yourself. Don't make it yourself, because I think, right, next week for charity, you ought to do the programme in the nude.
Blimey. Good question from Craig for you, Tony. Who's the best goalkeeper you've ever seen during your career?
The best goalkeeper I've ever seen. Seen or worked with, or so. Big Peter Schmeichel was in a different league. So was Edwin van der Sar to work with them. Pat was my hero, so I'm trying to not look too far past him. Gianluigi Buffon was another top keeper that I saw close and so that I've been fortunate to see a lot of them. Is there a standout one? No, I mean I think the debate really at Man United is still out with Peter and Edwin. Edwin coming at 35 and for 5 years was magnificent. Hardly made a mistake.
Yeah, he was brilliant.
But you can't know what Peter Schmeichel did.
It's phenomenal. Schmeichel was.
So probably close hand it would be those two.
Yeah. So what we're going to do now is
change tack in a minute, Paul, when you've done this one, right? And I want to start thinking about Bannergate.
Yeah, we'll talk about that after.
Go for
it, Paul.
So what we're going to do now, Tony, is we're going to play a clip of someone speaking, and we call it who. You have to basically guess who it is. It's somebody you played with. If you know immediately who it is, or if you think you know who it is, just tell us the first letter of his surname, and then we'll try and see if our viewers can get it.
Right. Can I ask a question, Paul?
Yeah.
Is it somebody Tony's played with at Birmingham?
Yes.
Oh yes.
Okay, so yeah, right, there you go.
I think you'll get it straight away.
Yeah.
me too.
Shout out, do I, the letter?
Yeah. Here we go. Here we go.
Hello everybody at the Irish Centre. Just a little message to wish you all well. Hope you're keeping safe. Hope to see you all very soon. All the very best. God bless. Love you lots. Take care. Bye-bye.
Sounds like a brummie.
Cool. Can we have one more run through?
Yeah.
Of course.
Here we go. Fire away.
Hello everybody at the Irish Centre. Just a little message to wish you all well. Hope you're keeping safe. Hope to see you all very soon. All the very best. God bless. Love you lots. Take care. Bye-bye.
So it's the way he says love. It's like a love you. Love.
I think I know it, you know. So
And I played with him. Love you lots.
You know,
Some people do know it is obviously on here.
They've got it already.
Does it begin with V?
Yes.
It's
Huh?
there. It's there.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah.
It's there. It's there. Let's see if anybody else gets it on the show.
No, I think there's not many players with V's, so I would have thought that's done it now. It's not Virgil van. It's not Virgil van Dijk.
Paul. Are we talking the surname?
I think I know it, Paul, actually. And he didn't used to give many interviews at all, from what I remember.
No,
Does his surname begin with V?
Yes.
Speaking to
Nobody's actually commenting. So I don't know if anyone knows because there's no comments coming in unless my
Everyone's stunned.
Is the world still out there?
Mark's got it. Mark Brooks has got it straight away.
There we go then.
Oh yeah, God, I can't think of anybody beginning with V.
Did he? Shall I give a clue out?
Yeah.
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 When we beat Southampton at the Dell, we had to win to stay up. It was where we had to. It was the last game of the season at the Dell. We won 1-0. Mick Harford scored.
Yeah.
Robert Hopkins got the header and Shilton saved it. And Mick Harford put the rebound in. Did he cross the ball? There's one for you.
Read my book.
Is it in the book?
People have got it. People have got it anyway. It's Pat Van Der Naan.
Pat Van Der Naan. Yeah, Pat Van Der Naan. Yeah.
There you are. See, it was the love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's a total.
Although born in Belgium, raised in London, there was still a Cockney twang in there.
Yeah.
That's what threw me at the start, but then I got it. Yeah.
Strange accent that was, wasn't it? Very strange.
That was one of the quickest ones ever, wasn't it? Most of them really struggled.
Yeah. Nick, Brenda's asked, are we doing a show when the season's finished? Well, which is finished now.
Listen, if anything important goes on, Brenda, we'll let you know. Obviously, we're going to talk about that banner and one thing or another in a second. But Brenda, rest assured, if anything big happens, we will rally the troops. We'll put it out on the Tilt and Talk page, and we'll get together, and we could literally put something together in 5 minutes sometimes. So it's all dependent on developments and happenings.
But we did do it all the way through, didn't we? So
and don't forget, Brenda, you're in for a bag of Tony's hair. I don't know what you're gonna do.
I wouldn't say a bag. It would be a small bag now.
A doggy bag.
Matchbox.
Into the last 15 minutes of the last but one show we go, ladies and gentlemen. Who have we got guesting next week, Chris, please?
Craig will tell me in a bit because I forgot.
Okay, cool. And today, what I want you to do with a bit of word associations, anything you would find in a sweet shop, anything you'd find in a sweet shop and football, anything you'd find in a sweet shop and football, a sweet shop and football. Here we go. Make me laugh, ladies and gentlemen, because I have had the worst migraine tonight I've had for a very long time, and I've proper struggled, so I really need to have a good laugh now. This is a mad 15 minutes, Tony, where we just get people to come out with comedic things, and they never, ever, ever, ever let us down, do they, Chris?
No. By the way, next week first, Nick. Next week it's Tom Ross.
Yeah, mate, Tom Ross,
Tom.
super. What a way to finish that season that we've just done, which has been a year and a bit long. We've gone all through the COVID, and we finished with Uncle Tom. Beautiful.
Fantastic.
Right, okay, so it's a little bit of a shame that we haven't got the guys from West Midlands Police on tonight, because they'd probably be able to answer the questions a little bit more than I would. Now, we've all seen the banner. right? I ain't got a clue. Put it up. I don't care. I don't want to know. It doesn't bother me, right? Doesn't bother me. But there were words on there which, you know what, I kind of find humorous because that's my warped sense of humour.
Yeah.
But then when I sit and think about it, no, should we, shouldn't we, shouldn't we? I don't know. It's going to be a contentious one, this one.
I think this is what they talked about. You see, they did talk about it's how you perceive it.
How you see it personally. Now,
yeah.
Look, Chris, you know me. You see my comedy on Facebook, mate. And I do
it's
it
rubbish.
I do it all the time, right? And I only do it to try and make people laugh or smile, in these horrible times that we're in at the moment. Yeah,
Wrong with that.
Genuinely wouldn't post anything to personally offend anybody. And I mean that, Steve. I mean it, right? But I'd love to laugh. There's nothing better in life than laughing. Now, was this a racist comment or was it just a joke? And if I don't know, are we?
Well, it's meant as a joke. But I mean,
we've got too far.
But that doesn't mean that it is a joke.
No,
people.
I'll relate this back to the Jippo chant that we do last week, yeah? And I didn't realise that could offend somebody. Never thought about it. Never even crossed my mind that could offend somebody. Or it will make somebody feel a little bit cringeworthy. I don't think it offended the lad. But he was really not pointed out, and I'm really glad he pointed it out as well.
Yeah, it might have offended me.
Paul, in your opinion, was that a racist slur or just something wrong?
I think, to be honest, it was just a rhyming slang for the way, I don't think it was intent. I don't think the intent was racism at the beginning when they put it together. I think you have to think about all the other banners that they've done as well, which I do support. And we all do want Dong out of the club, but there is a line that you have to think about, and I just don't think it was thought about properly. But at the same time, I don't think the intent was to be racist at all.
I did it, Paul. I genuinely mean that. But then when the hoo-ha's now gone up, and I sit and think about it, well, could that offend somebody? Perhaps, I don't know. I mean, look, there's nobody gets a rip taken out of our accent more than a Brummie does. Nobody, right?
Well, I think
apart from if you're in Liverpool.
Yeah, I just don't think it defines that group at all. I don't think one banner defines that group. I think they've done a hell of a lot of work.
Genuinely, Paul, I genuinely don't even know the group, right? I saw the banner and I thought, you know what? This is either going to be perceived as a little bit of comedy or it's going to blow up. And it's blown up. And I understand the club statement and I get that, right? And I get it. And I'm 100% behind that. And I would hate to offend anybody, certainly on this show or certainly on my own personal social networks. I'd hate to offend anybody. But if you tell a joke about a man with one leg, that's taking the rip out of the whole of the one-legged community, isn't it?
Nick, I think Nick, one of the other things was how the group responded when they were told to take the banner down. How they responded to other Blues fans. I think that was one of the main talking points as well. So but there you go.
But you know what? I'm putting my honest pennies worth in here, Chris, and I mean it. I see how the club have perceived it, right? But I see that it was probably done tongue in cheek.
Yeah,
and I think we've all got to be savvy, right? And sometimes tongue in cheek can hurt. And you know what? There's nobody quicker than me. I've always got a rhetorical thing to say to you, always, on a boom, boom, boom. And I've said it before my head's thought about it. And I personally, I probably could offend some people, and I never want to do that. All I want is a laugh, just to laugh out of people, make them smile.
Yeah. Nick, shall we move on?
Yeah.
Let's move on. Have a laugh.
Okay, sweet shop then, Chris. What we got?
Glen Murray mint.
Oh,
hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate. No, please don't do that one again.
Chris Marsden.
Oh, very
decent,
good. Very good.
Alan Mint. Cotton candy.
Oh, Tony Coton candy. That's speaking so far for me.
No flake.
No flake.
No flake. Brilliant.
Hot chocolate. Yes, literally gone. Hot chocolate bar. Paper Bop Diop. Don't know that one.
What's that one?
Barry Fries.
Can we have Gobstopper?
Gobstopper, yeah.
Tony's here, so.
Oh, another Tony Coton candy. Ian Jelly Bennett. Barry Fry's chocolate cream. Kenny.
Oh my God.
No, I can't have that one. Revels Morrison.
Oh God,
That's a good one, that is. I like
brought
that
tears to my underpants, honestly. Right, what was that one, Chris? I missed it.
Revels Morrison.
Oh, I'm crying.
Archie Gemmill Kibar.
I've come over all unnecessary.
March Bowenan.
Yeah. Jamie Caramel.
Oh,
Jelly Hibbit. Oh.
Yeah, Chris. Mark over Mars.
oh,
Boom, boom.
March Bowenan.
Yes.
Mark Bowenan, yeah.
Harry Sugarcane.
Oh, I can't breathe.
As a goalkeeper,
Trying to finish
coach,
Nick off.
Tony, who was as a goalkeeper coach? Who was the best goalkeeper coach you ever whoever coached you in your career?
To be fair, it weren't until late on in my career that I had one. They weren't really around then. I mean, to the point that I was Man United's first one in 98. That was the first one they'd had, full-time one. They'd had one morning a week, Alan Hodgkinson. So I think I'd had Alan Hodgkinson a few times. I'd had him a couple of sessions at Birmingham. I'd had him at Watford. I would probably say Eric Steele was probably the best one I had. Just for the content of his coaching, what was in it, how it was structured. So it weren't just about drilling; it was about actual coaching, and would look back and you having a hot flush, pal?
when he gets to his age, you know what I mean?
I'm not right. Here you go. I've just had to go to the loo because I'm nearly weed myself.
You should have a bucket like I've got down here.
I know.
Come on.
Too much information, love.
Paul Bryant on YouTube says Frank Wortherstone.
Oh,
Mark Holland says Bubble Dip. Jerry Till.
Oh, golly. Crisp off to Gary.
Super John Karen McCarthy.
Oh, golly. You know what? That's
Rodney Marshmallow.
Rodney Marshmallow.
Another quick question, Tony. What would you say was the best goal you ever conceded?
He's
I'll be here all night.
He's the one.
That's got to be the worst one.
That's got to be the worst one, isn't it? Surely, yeah.
I think the best goal. Playing for Watford, I think Kenny Dalglish.
Okay.
It was a last game of the season at Anfield. It finished 4-3 to Liverpool, and it was just the way, I forget who passed the ball into him, just the way he received it. It was a little bit Dennis Bergkampish against Newcastle. He played it one side, ran round the other, come inside somebody else, and then hit it right in the far top corner, and it went right in the angle.
Okay. He's a hell of a player, isn't he, Dalglish?
Yeah,
Dennis Bergkamp, where was he from?
Huh?
Which country was he from?
Holland.
Holland, yeah, Dutch.
It was a Holland.
Dutch
Yeah.
lad.
Dennis Bergkamp. He was a bit like Bergkamp, wasn't it, against Newcastle when he scored that one?
Yeah, that's what I was sort of putting it up against. It was very similar to that, to the point where that was the winner.
Yeah,
I felt like clapping him. You know what I mean? It was good of finish. The all round, the build up with the play, Liverpool of the 80s, knocking it about, brilliant. This, that, and the other, and then just the final phase of it was, and the execution was different.
Have you ever, Tony, either clapped or said "well done" to somebody who's put a goal in past you?
Oh, good question.
No, I have done after, but I haven't done when
Right.
You know, maybe walking off and saying what a finish that was, or you know.
Yeah.
You're right, pal. Is it paramedics on standby?
Well, seriously.
Nick, I've got the winner. I've got the winner. I've got the winner as well. I've got the winner here, Nick.
Go on, then.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Terry's Butcher Chocolate Orange.
That's the can't be the winner.
Tim Faraday, our actor friend who was on the other week, said best keeper we've ever had at Blues. Keep right on, Tony.
Definitely.
Oh, nice one. Nice message.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Well,
The only, I mean, we're drawing to a close now. I think.
We're right at the end now. Nick's gonna.
why do you want to go?
I always, when we went to the centenary dinner at the big centre in Birmingham, I can't remember what.
The ICC, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There, and we got interviewed. I don't know whether it was Blues TV or whatever. And me and Mick got interviewed, and Mick said something that night and really took the words out of my mouth. Really, he said, they said to him, "What did it mean? Was there any regret?" And he said it wasn't long enough for him at Blues, you know. And I was of the same opinion. I think I played in all the games. It was 114 games for me. And when Ron Saunders called me in and said, "Look, Watford have..."
Did they tell you had to go, Tone? Or was it?
So he called me and said that they needed the money. And I think that was the exodus then. I think Blakey
went, didn't he?
Blakey went, I went, Mick went to Luton, this, that and the other. Pat Van went to Everton.
Yeah.
So it was sort of the breakup. And I've always had that feeling. I wanted to play longer. I wanted to break into the 200 appearances for Blues. That's what it meant to me. And I always had that dream of coming back and playing, and it never happened.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tone. Do you ever think of your debut even now, all these years later? Do you still sort of have a moment where you just sit back and then just think of it all?
Well, I do when I've got the plate on the car, but I'm waiting for a car to come at the minute so we can put it on. And I look out the window and it just reminds me of that day. You know, there's so many things. You know, you I don't know where you go, lads, when you can't sleep, but you know, I certainly go back over my football and things.
When to be honest, Tone, when I can't sleep, I normally read your book.
Oh, what a brutal entrance to that.
I'm only joking.
No, he's not.
That's one less book to send out.
No.
Tony hasn't even borrowed it off his dad yet, mate.
He's got his dad's bathrobe on.
Craig's asking, can we also just promote the charity event as well?
Oh, the football card, yeah, as well.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we've got a new card going as well. Yeah, to win a nicely signed shirt. All the details are on our page if you go and have a look.
It's £2 a go or £5 for 3 goes.
It is.
Yeah,
I believe.
Well, Here we go. We've come to the end of the evening. You know what? Again, man, this has been manic because we could have just gone on all night. So Tony, quick question for you before we do leave.
Yeah.
When was the last time you actually walked onto the pitch at St Andrews?
It's I'll be perfectly honest, I turned it down the last time I was there because it was throwing it down and I was only in a jacket in a thing. So they said, would you come out and you know, I was it was a draw or something. I said, I ain't going out in that, no chance.
Okay, what we're going to do, mate.
And is it Brenda or Barbara with the barnet who keeps
Brenda.
And as Brenda would appreciate, you know, with me locks, I would have looked a drowned rat if I'd have got this wet. So.
What we're going to do, matey, because I know Paul Devlin's been listening again tonight, and he's organised it for Robbie Savage when the season kicks in with all the fans back. Please, Paul Devlin, can you organise to get Tony Coton on the pitch so that we can show him just how much we appreciate it? And I know some of the youngsters didn't see him play, but, you know, us older gits did. And you know what? You, sir, are a club legend.
Yeah, seconded.
Yeah.
Paul Devlin, down to you, my friend. Down to you.
Nick, the signed shirt is from the. I've just seen it, and it's
0607 season, isn't it?
Yeah, 0607.
Promotion season, wasn't it, Paul?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Nicholas Bentner and Mwamba and so on.
Okay, so we've gone over, Nick, so there we go. Fire away, Nick.
Well, this has been the Tilton Talk Show, sponsored by Boyle Sports, and of course in conjunction with Accessory Blues, the Blues Trust, our good friends at the Garrison Copy Company, and of course the Bawdsley Labour Club. Wow. What a season it's been. What a guest list we've had. And we're going to top it off next week, ladies and gents, with Tom Ross. And that is also going to be a cracker. But you know what? Again tonight, I was thinking, what questions can we ask Tony Coton? But this has just flowed naturally. And this is how we do it week in and week out. And I'm so glad we can do it like this, right? Because we don't have set scripts or anything written down or what have you. This is just natural talking to people. But Tony, you're a Blues fan through and through. You've been on the Cop, you've been in the Tilton, you've played for the club. Oh, if you can get me to just flip one burger one day and just get, I don't know, even if it's just a 3-click payslip with Birmingham City on it. I want my name on a payslip with Birmingham City on it. That's my goal for my museum, right? We've got one more week to go, lovelies, and this has been the Tilton Talk Show, as I say, and wow. We could have gone on all night again. Much thanks to our fan cam tonight. Our what's the gentleman's name?
Steve Jobby.
No. The fan cam man.
Steve Jobs.
No, who we've nominated to be the fan cam man.
Oh, Leighton Webster. Leighton Webster fan cam.
That's the
the Leighton fan cam man. Steve Job, absolutely brilliant, mate. Well done. Look forward to seeing you down the Tilton Road or in Bar 8, mate, when we're all open and rocking and rolling again. Keep right on.
Thanks for having me on anyway, lads.
I was you behind you, mate.
Thanks for coming on, mate.
I think you ought to switch the view off now and show us what your room actually does look like.
No.
It's not too bad. It's just a mirror behind. You reckon?
Just very quickly from me. I'll put Steve's 1 to 11 up as well. But just so that you know, Tony, you're in goal in Steve's 1 to 11 as well for all-time Blues 11.
Steve, top man.
Yeah.
Steve.
Cheers, Tony.
Steve,
yeah.
Read us out 1 to 11. Dead quick, because we've really got to go. Quick.
Okay. TC in goal. Martin Granger left back. Gary Ablett left centre half. Colin Todd. David Langan. Stan Lazaridis, Mark Ward, Kevin Dillon, Trevor Francis, Frank Worthington, Mikael Forster.
Well, what can I say?
What a team.
That's been Steve Job, ladies and gentlemen, on Fan Cam tonight. And thanks for joining in with us, mate, giving your time up. Also, a great thanks to the one and only Mr. Mark Adams, a.k.a. Mr. Rogue.
Stay safe, everybody. Have a good week. Look after yourself.
Well done. Keep working hard for the NHS, mate, and we're all proud of you, Sunshine. And our good friend, the one and only Mr. Sheen, it's the one and only Paul Hipkiss.
Thank you, everyone. Good night, all.
God bless you, mate. Take care. Have a great week, Paul. And from Mrs. Browne.
Good evening. Goodbye.
From myself, good night. God bless. Keep right on, guys. And we'll see you back here next week with Tom Ross. But our last message of the night is going to come from the legend that is Tony Coton.
Good night, everyone. Merry Christmas.
Have a good one, Tony.
Good, lads. Hello.
Buy my book. I want your money.
Don't forget the book.
Don't forget the book.
Good night, all. God bless and take care. See you next Monday.
Hello.
Cheers, guys.
We're so happy.